Well, mushrooms are like one of those species on this planet that you could call the elder species. They take care of much rest of the ecosystem. So it seems like in their evolutionary strategy there is a pattern of keeping the balance of the ecosystem constantly there, because for long run it is in the benefit of the mushroom itself for the ecosystem to be thriving, because they thrive in an ecosystem that is functioning. And so because of that they have formed into this hyper symbiotic species that is connected with everything else around this ecosystem and is constantly tracking it in a sense of like the mycelium. The mycelium is the underground like network of the mushroom. Mushroom is just only the fruiting body. So like if we're talking about an apple tree, the apple is the mushroom. The tree with its roots is the mycelium. It's all over. It's literally everywhere when you see green plants. And so this mycelial network is seeing through its network of like where is a tree that needs more nutrition or water, where is some kind of sickness coming or some kind of predator coming for the plants and alerts the other plants. Like a good example is there is a giraffe eating tree leaves. The tree sends the message to the mycelium gives it to all the other trees start generating an enzyme that makes the leaves bitter. So it's the internet of the wood.
And an internet of collaboration. Also.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's like you take in the forest, for example, there's a huge tree and there's a baby tree next to it, and they both have their own mycelial networks in the root system connecting each other, and the mushrooms, the mycelium, takes donations of like energy and nutrients and minerals and gives to the little tree, because the big tree has way enough, and like the little one also can help grow and have a boost. And also we are not the first species cultivating mushrooms in this planet. Like ants and other organisms have done this before. So like ant colonies, for example, you see the tree leaf cutting ants, and they take the leaves and they take the stuff into their colonies, and they have mushroom farms in their colonies, which in return provide them nutrition and health and medicine, so they can exist in outside environment. So we humans are taking this knowledge now as very popular.
Wow, that's amazing.
And another aspect of how to save the ecosystem or how to keep it in balance, there's a big problem with the bees in the world right now, and mushrooms provide a solution there too, because with immunity boosting properties and nutrition, you can save the bees as well.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's incredible.
And what are some of the health benefits you can find in mushrooms?
For humans,
For
consumption.
humans,
There is a lot of health benefits in mushrooms, and like since
What don't they do?
since fungi has been one of the species that has been kind of like less researched into, so we every day kind of discover new things that they can do. But like, for instance, there is certain things in human history where the human longevity increased dramatically, and for instance, one was the invention of penicillin. Before that, like a simple like inflammation could kill you, but now it is not the case anymore. So like this is like one good example, because penicillin also basically a type of fungi. And so but like for the mushrooms that we have here right now, for instance, in the Fungi Academy, we have oyster mushroom as our main mushrooms that we cultivate for eating, and I recommend everybody to start with that. It's a very easy mushroom, and at the same time very beneficial mushroom. It also is very beneficial for microremediation, for instance, but for the eating benefits, oyster mushroom needs to be heated. It isn't like it's completely raw. There is still some toxins inside that are not so good, not so digestible. But once you heat it a little bit, saute whatever you do with it, it becomes completely digestible for humans, and it's a beneficial mushroom.
And can you talk a little bit about the difference between the nutrients in the stalk versus the actual head of the mushroom? Are there more nutrients in the stalk? Or
Yeah, so there is no difference in that. Mostly the mushroom is kind of representation of the mycelium. The mycelium has the same properties. There are some species that are different. For instance, like lion's mane is a very delicious gourmet mushroom. At the same time, it is very powerful medicine for your brain. It keeps away Alzheimer's. People with multiple sclerosis have gotten like relief from that. But in this mushroom sense, the mycelium without the fruit body is actually more beneficial. So that's one of those cases. Like for instance, we are growing this mycelium on some kind of grain, like a wheat grain, for instance, and the mycelium grows on there, and we don't really need to fruit this out as into the mushroom. We can just eat this grain with mycelium, and it has more medicinal benefits.
But you have to cook it first, like some
Yep.
medicinal mushroom production farms or projects. They produce a lot of this mycelium, and then they run it through a machine that like bakes it so that the ingredients become active and absorbable, and then they pulverize it, and then that's how you buy it in capsules in natural health medicine stores. And I mean, there's tons of, like I said, what they do. Chinese medicine has known the value of mushrooms in the nutrition and medicine for thousands of years. This is a very ancient practice, nothing new to them. They're like anti-cancers, help to fight cancer, maybe not like but they are immune boosting properties, anti-inflammatory, and like I said, some mushrooms help with your nervous system.
Great. Else that you guys would like to share with the world about mushrooms? And like people don't know much about mushrooms, so.
Well, I would like to kind of like in the beginning of our talk we started with this, like how mushrooms are symbiotes and an elder species. That's an idea of how they have evolved to be successfully on this planet. Like they have been here for far longer than humanity. And if us as humanity want to kind of learn from some other species, so we have a chance right now if we look at the life of fungus and how they are living in symbiosis with their environment. And then the important part is to understand that like some species are parasitic because it's in their nature, like a mosquito, or some species like mushrooms or bees, they are symbiotic because it's in their nature. Like us humans, we have a consciousness. We can choose at any moment which one we want to be, and it seems to be very important to make that conscious choice right now.
Wow. And what does it mean that they are an elder species?
It means that like the way they are functioning on this planet and in these ecosystems is that the planet and the ecosystems are benefiting from them. And an elder species, I mean that it's a species that we can learn something from that. Like they're literally like so much older on this planet than we are, and so like we can, from their evolutionary strategy, us as humans, if we want to like kind of keep evolving on this planet, not to perish, we can learn from that.
you can tap into their botanical intelligence.
And what do you think is what do you think mushrooms have taught you guys as humans? Like, what have you learned from mushrooms?
Definitely, it has diverted my attention into being more ecologically thinking. Like instead of doing that and applying it into my life, is if I could do anything I want in my life, it might as well benefit everybody, benefit the nature, benefit the planet and its people. The mycelial archetype has taught me a lot. It's just like I model how to live by it well. We want everybody to be benefiting of it, just give and receive and that. And it's shown me also that it's like raised questions more, like why this break in this period of time of the humans are not just consuming mushrooms. Why isn't this daily on our menu? Why do we eat all this mass-produced farm and corn and other stuff, which is good too, but like, why not more mushrooms? It's cheap.
And you?
Yeah, I can kind of like reflect on something similar that Dan said. Yeah, for me, the mushrooms have taught me how to not be so self-centered. Also consider what's happening around me, and they kind of created this space to realize how I can also create symbiosis in my lifestyle with myself, with the people, the community I live in, and with the overall nature around me. So I think that's been the most important, because like if you talk about, for instance, like microremediation as a topic of mushrooms can help to remediate certain toxins from our environment. That wouldn't be interesting for me if I wouldn't have this mindset first of like it actually matters for me. And I think this is what mushrooms are giving me.